New York, be here. Madison Square Garden. Are you ready? Let's go. Everybody stand up right now. The New York Knicks is in town. You know we about to shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Knicks Community Podcast. It's been a minute since literally yesterday's episode. We got a good one tonight. We got Eru from the DiehardKnicks Podcast, and I will bring him in on right now.
Hey.
Hello.
What's going on, man? Good to be here.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time. I always come on your shows.
Yeah, I see you got like the little overlays going on here, man. It's starting to.
We're trying to spice things up as always. But how are things? How are you?
Everything is not so bad, man. You know, the weather has been kind of weird. Like it was like 90 degrees for like a week, and then all of a sudden now it's like fall. So that's been kind of a drag a little bit.
Yeah, it was weird and like humid, especially today.
Yeah.
But so let's get into a little bit of preseason. We got the preseason schedule up right here. Our first game is against the Indiana Pacers. How do you, just looking at this schedule, how do you see us faring out in some of these games?
Well, you know, I'm gonna say sweep every single time, man. You know,
yeah.
Just for the sheer excitement. You know, I kind of want to see certain guys play. You know, like extended minutes and things of that nature. So I mean, against the Pacers, Wizards, I don't know, man. You know, like I said, I don't want to take any losses, but I could see Julius Randle wanting to play against Sabonis. You know, he's not going to let him off the hook because I feel like that's one of the guys that he targeted as that player that he wants to go at every single time. So if Sabonis plays a lot of minutes, Julius Randle's going to want to play. So things of that nature too. The Wizards, you know, they're putting out a decent team. The young guys are going to want to play against the Detroit's young guys. So, you know, we'll see, man. But you know, with the preseason. With the schedule being a lot shorter nowadays, like 4 games or so, it's really like guys are really going to want to get ready for the season. So they might actually play, you know, hard, you know, or play to win for, you know, per se. Starting off.
Yeah, I know. I feel like, I mean, as my title says, can the Knicks go undefeated? You know, I mean, I see us hopefully easily winning, you know, every single game this preseason. I mean, as somebody that said we were going to sweep the Hawks in the playoffs right before that God, not all. I mean, can I say god awful? I don't know. It wasn't the best. But
yeah, you can't blame God for that one though.
Yeah, no, you gotta. It was definitely other powers for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I really think that we can, you know, at least win majority of the games. I mean, I could, unless like a Cade Cunningham, Luka Garza duo can like go off on us. I guess. I mean, I could see that maybe happening. I don't really know. I mean, I can see them having good games, but I don't really, you know, see them really affecting this team. I mean, you know, I think Kemba Walker is probably going to have them, you know, controlled and Fournier and stuff. So do you think that the Pistons will probably get something over us or not?
I don't, at that point, I don't think so, because I think Tom Thibodeau is really going to settle in to his rotation, really get, you know, some kinks out, really, because if you can compare it to last preseason, I think he really was just trying to get to know who his guys were. You know, DSJ got a lot of time the first 2 games. By the 4th game, DSJ was out of the rotation totally, and they were like he was on a trade block and he was going to be out of here. A couple other guys too. You know, we were just really just trying to feel what we were trying to do. But this time around, Tom Thibodeau is going to have a feel right off the bat on how his rotation is going to be entering into the season. So I think these games, maybe the first game, it won't be so crazy with the minutes. Maybe the guys will from the bench will start getting time just to look. But once it gets to that Detroit game, like you just mentioned, I think at that point we're going to be playing starters, ready to, basically ready to start the season. To start it, because I think that's going to be important too. We have to start the season quick. So I think this preseason is definitely going to be a stepping board for that.
Exactly. And do you see Miles McBride and guys like him and Jericho Sims, like, you think after preseason they're going to stay in that rotation, or you think like mope around the G League and regular season kind of thing?
They'll probably do a little bit of both, man. I think Tom Thibodeau, people, this is the stigma with him that he doesn't play rookies, but he played quickly. He played quickly, and then he gave a lot of minutes. He put like a big role on RJ. RJ's was second year play. He put a big role on him to be that second guy with RJ. So he doesn't mind giving guys a role, but the guy has to earn that role. He's not just giving a role to anybody. Oh, I'm just going to play a rookie just to play him. If these guys are ready to play, he's going to do that. So I say all that to say is that I think that these kids, they definitely going to get a chance. Just to keep the. This is what I hope they do. Like, if they're not going to play, I hope they send them to the G League just to get the reps. And then when they come back, I hope they come back 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a lot, but like come back into such a way that they'll play. When called upon, whenever we need them to do that.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm just trying to still trying to figure out the the viewpoints here. But State, how's everything?
What's good, State?
What's up, fellas? I'm chilling, man. I just finished watching my New York Giants play preseason football. What's up, fellas?
It was wasn't it a rough start for Daniel Jones?
Oh my God. Daniel Jones. If I could compare him to like an NBA player, like a Knicks player right now, he gives me Obi Toppin vibes. Like you can see the potential, you can see what he can do, but it's still not enough for me.
Oh wow, they put Glennon in too. I'm looking at the box score now. They put Glennon in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac Jones looks pretty solid for right now, I guess.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
But it's still like a feeling out process, I guess, with Daniel Jones, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But we were just talking about if Miles McBride and like Jericho Sims will, like, after preseason, like, they'll stay in the rotation or kind of like flop in and out of the G League and regular teams. So how do you feel about that?
I'm fine with it. I told y'all weeks ago, I'm perfectly fine with McBride and Grimes not playing next season. Like, I'm comfortable with it. We got Evan Fournier and we got Alec Burks. So the only way that Grimes or McBride or even Sims would play is if Nerlens get hurt or Mitch get hurt, or Nerlens or Mitch, and even before then, like, if one of those two get hurt, Taj Gibson is going to get off the bench before Sims. And so I'm perfectly fine not seeing those guys. McBride, we got Kemba and Rose, so we'll probably see McBride at some point. Probably not like the first 2 months, I'm going to assume, or until we see it back-to-back. And Grimes, I think Grimes probably the most likely one we'll see, because I don't trust Burks' health, and I don't trust Evan Fournier's health.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. And me and we were just talking about the preseason schedule, so I have it up right here. State, do you see us winning every single game and going undefeated, you think?
Now that I actually do. When I wrote you earlier, I was like, I was playing as usual, but now that I'm looking at it, we got Indiana, we got Washington, we got the Pistons, and we have Washington again. I think we could go undefeated. We're probably split between Washington, but I think we can, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. Like I was saying
I think I'm.
a little while ago, like if Luka Garza and Cade Cunningham somehow go off, which I don't see happening, like
Mhm.
to the point of us losing.
Mhm.
I mean that's really the only way I see us kind of somehow losing that game. But I mean, you never know.
Guys are going to be excited too. Mitchell Robinson, he's going to be back after having not playing for a while. So, well, we might have to pull the reins back to some of these guys because just from that simple fact, especially Kemba and all this, because preseason games, summer league games, it doesn't matter if the Knicks are playing, the fans are going to be there going crazy, asking for blood, during these games and stuff, man. So we just going to have to temper our own self not to get too excited because like I said, we want to prepare for the season. Come into the season hard, but we also don't want to get hurt either. We don't want to mess up things.
Yeah, exactly. And being prepared for this season, we got a huge. Finally, we have another Christmas Day game against Atlanta, and I know that Eru obviously have gone back and forth with Atlanta Hawks fans recently on Twitter. Now every time I say diehard Knicks, I get messed up with diehard Hawks. So I mean, are you guys excited for the Christmas Day game? And what do you guys think's gonna happen?
I'm waiting for that State of the Hawks podcast to pop, man.
I know, I am too. It's funny. I looked up Knicks community, not Knicks community, Hawks community on Twitter the other day, and there is a Hawks community, but I'm happy that it's not like a Hawks page because it's like a high school in Atlanta that like the Hawks like help out with donations and stuff.
Yo, I thought you were gonna say it was a dating website or something like that, like a Hawks, like a bird dating website.
Oh my god, it could be where Trae Young finds his barbers. I mean, it's so I was relieved to see that it was not a Hawks account because I would have had a field day. But do you guys see us winning the Christmas Day game?
Hell yeah! What we supposed to say? We gonna lose?
I'm just getting your opinions on it.
No, I think we're gonna win. I want to see the schedule before our actual game before Christmas, and then I make that determination. Just in case if we got a back-to-back or we play 2 games in 3 nights, depending on who we play. And I'm gonna assume, so knock on wood, I'm gonna assume somebody's gonna be hurt already by December. So I'm gonna predict this. This year's Christmas Day game, we're gonna have somebody who we don't think is gonna score 20, is gonna score 20 points on Christmas Day for the Knicks. I say that.
So you're thinking like a Dwayne Bacon?
Dwayne Bacon. You crazy. I'm thinking Dwayne Bacon. Probably Quentin Grimes. I think one of those plays. Just somebody just off the radar where you like, oh, snap. Because Alec Burks could give us 30. RJ could give us 30 or 20. I say Grimes to Obi Toppin. Has Obi ever scored 20 points in an NBA game?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, I hope he will this year. I mean, he's going from 23 points per game in the summer league. So, I mean, I know that's a little less of a level of NBA competition, but, I don't know. What do you think?
Say Grimes scores 20 in that Christmas game. What does that do for the Knicks? Like what do you think will happen after? What would be the aftermath or something like that? Oh, State just popped off.
I know he heard Grimes going off and just had to he just had to leave. But I mean it's like when look at what happens when a guy like Emmanuel Quickly went off. The whole team rounded kind of like banded together. It could be like I don't know, like a morale kind of boosting situation that could, keep the chemistry up. But that's why we need a guy like Theo Pinson. Now he's going to be somehow affiliated with the Milwaukee Bucks now that summer league is over. So do you think the Knicks chemistry is going to be ruined because Theo Pinson's not on this team?
I don't know, man. As long as we got Kevin Knox there cheering, I guess that'll help.
Oh man,
Oh,
I wish
the best.
I wish good luck. I wish him good luck. I think he should be traded and he'll do much better with another team.
Yeah. Well, I was asking State, man. Let's say if Grimes is the guy that drops on the 20, like what does that do for the like the next step with the Knicks? Do you think the Knicks, what kind of ripple effects do you think that will have?
That you're funny. I'm secretly hoping that you're funny because Dow always comes from left field with a crazy question. So for me, I'm hoping that Alec Burks plays so well that we could trade him for a first round pick, and then we could open the floodgate for Grimes. But even before that, I'm hoping and wishing Grimes a play, right? And you just brought up Kevin Knox. I don't think as a coach you would trot out. Now let's just say in the event that Burks get hurt or Evan Fournier get hurt. I don't think in the event of that happening, you would trot out Grimes before Kevin Knox. That's just from a coaching perspective and from an asset perspective. You would want to see Kevin Knox play. I mean, before Grimes. Grimes on a 4-year rookie deal, so I don't see the rush in seeing him. I'm just hoping and praying that he would be the guy to score 20 on Christmas Day. But I don't think we're gonna see him all season, bro. Honestly, I hope we do, but I don't think so.
I think Kevin Knox is done, man. I just did a pod this morning, just kind of like throwing the different things out there. But if Knox actually plays well, then I can see that. But he would have to play so well to make Tom Thibodeau make a move like that, So it's really in the ball is really in his court to dictate what's going to happen with the Knicks and his own career, because I mean Grimes is right there. I can't see Grimes falling back to Knox, and I can't see Tibbs not playing Grimes because of Knox,
Yeah, I mean, I think Grimes could, given that he just came off a great summer league. And then when Kevin Knox came off of summer league, everybody demolished him from getting stripped from Zion, which just shot the confidence. So I feel like, do you think having that Quentin Grimes having a boost of confidence coming into this season is going to kind of cause some feathers in terms of Knox's already lack of usage that like, could it Thanos snap into oblivion, destroy it, you think?
Well, I'm looking at DSJ. I don't know if State agree with that. DSJ, because DSJ had every opportunity to get a spot, and he just didn't play well in preseason at all. And then they went from him not playing good in preseason to being traded like almost immediately to Detroit for this guy, Derrick Rose. I think Derrick Rose was coming anyway, but I just think that his play in the preseason just solidified that. So if Knox does the same thing and doesn't have any kind of impact in his preseason the way that we need him to, I think he'll probably be out the door too. But not for like something like a first round. It probably would be something for like a significant player, like a Derrick Rose kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
State, what do you think?
I agree. I agree, but then I don't agree because Knox is in his 4th year and Grimes is a rookie. So if I'm looking in the locker room and Burks get hurt, I mean, Scott Perry drafted Knox. I would believe you would want to see Knox in an actual game and to see his progression before you throw Grimes into the fire. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. I'm just thinking about a locker room and how can you just put Grimes out there and not play Knox all year, but then you're gonna say, "Oh, let's try to trade him." I don't see how that like correlates. I don't see how that goes together. That's just me.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, these guys they see enough of them in practice. They already know what these guys are made of, and such. So I mean, if you don't trust them in practice, you're not gonna put them in a game. You know, he just won't even make it to that standpoint. You know, that's why I mentioned DSJ, because DSJ, he like I said, well, even Frank too. I'm always mentioning Frank. That's what everybody keeps saying. But a guy like Frank, he was here for all these years, but he didn't get off the bench at all from the jump. Quickly was the one that got called, and Quickly was the rookie. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a good comparison to that situation.
You know, there's a reason why they chanted "We Want Frank" when DSJ was on the court.
Hold on, real quick, Aiden. Real quick, Aiden. I love what Diehard just did. Diehard, you know about MSG politics, bro, and you already know that. I'm gonna put it like this: Leon Rose didn't get fired the next day after he drafted Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin, so we knew they was gonna play regardless. Frank wasn't drafted by this regime, so it's understandable. And then you talk about practice. Okay, fine, we could talk about practice, but what the hell was Alfred Payne doing in practice for him to get all those minutes? I'm confused. I don't know.
Remember that part we was talking about the Bucks where Alfred Payne had 26 points, eight assists, 4 rebounds, and three from the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing something in practice to show, that he's like worthy to be the starting point guard over all the guys that we had.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that he had actually good games?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, in the beginning of the year, he did play pretty good, but I mean, something must have happened throughout the year with Alfred that he just totally, because he's not a good player to begin with. He can facilitate, pass the ball, that type of thing. He can play defense. He can't shoot, and then he has questionable decision making when he's out there playing as well. But I mean, something happened along the line where maybe he lost his confidence, or maybe he just didn't care anymore because of the way we were treating him in the media and stuff like that, and just on social media. I'm talking, because we were killing him, man, and deservingly so. But we were killing him, to the point where I think his mom got involved, all kind of stuff. So, I think he was more than happy to be out of here, once he got out of here. But, at the time, Alfred Payne has like a pedigree. He was like not pedigree, but I mean, he had like a history, 10 points, 6 assists for his whole career. Frank didn't do none of that yet. So who do you trust more right off the rip,
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's interesting that I'm surprised Alfred didn't get more angry than I mean, I remember him pushing Jay Crowder at the end of that Memphis game, which isn't it crazy? I can now say that was 2 seasons ago. Oh man, I mean, it just shows you I guess the insane upward progression that this Knicks team has brought.
I would never forget that game that you spoke about just now when he pushed Jay Crowder into the stands, because Alfred allowed a 20-year-old John Morant to walk the floor with that man that whole game. So yeah, he should have been pissed. He should have been pissed with himself with his performance. That's what he should have been pissed with. And maybe if he wasn't down 20 in the fourth and showed some fight all game, maybe you wouldn't have to push Jay Crowder into the stands. But I hate that man. I'm so glad he's off the team. Like this past 2 years with him at point guard, and then the year before with Moutier, like, oh my goodness. Oh goodness. We came a long way.
Yeah, definitely. The conversation is definitely going to change too, man, because you kind of get tired of talking about it. Trying to talking about the stuff that he did or the stuff that Frank did, and both guys are terrible. So now the conversation is going to change because we got Rose and Walker. So we're not going to be talking about like imaginary stuff or stuff that didn't happen or stuff that we wish could happen. We got 2 guys that right from the jump is going to be good. And then Quickly's there too, and then McBride eventually one day. So. It's just the conversation is definitely gonna increase.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and what's up, State?
Nah, I said it needs to change. You don't think I'm tired of, man? Aiden, yo, those first 2 years that when I started the pod, I had to make up an excuse damn near every time I recorded upon why we lost and how we lost, and look for the littlest things that these players did. For example, I remember when Frank scored 20 and 10. Aiden, I was happy the whole pod. And he never did it again.
I think he got
man.
hurt. He got hurt like the next game or something like that.
No,
It's-
actually, the very next game was canceled because COVID hit. Boom.
Right. There you go. Yep.
Oh man. It's the Frank curse. I remember having to make excuses for us losing during the frickin' Lou Mudson era. I mean,
Aiden, why you bringing this bad memories? Man? Oh my god. Yeah.
oh man.
Yo, we've been through so much craziness. It's unbelievable as Knicks fans, man. Just like year to year, even before like this whole podcast and content creating and stuff. Like just back in the days where you're just trying to find something, I'm a Knicks fan. Hey, I'm a Knicks fan too. They like, yo, Lou
Right,
Munson,
yeah.
I don't know, Quentin Richardson, I don't know, So it's like, yo, you want to be why not?
Yeah, man. Oh, Cle Anthony early, and now he was talking trash about us a while back. But oh man, isn't it crazy? I always say whenever I'm on your show, it's positive vibes, and back from the Lou Mudson era. I mean, it's exciting. It's good. I just will say the one thing about Kevin Knox, going back to that conversation, I do not want to see this man scoring own baskets ever again. Have you guys seen the compilations of Knox scoring on our own baskets?
Who, Knox?
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh my God. When you have, I'm gonna give you an example, Aiden. When you go to high school, when you go to college, right? When you have a stupid teacher teaching you something that's stupid as well, you're gonna become stupid yourself. So when you have David Fizdale and Keith Smart as the guys who's teaching you,
What a name.
you do stuff like what Kevin Knox is doing.
What a name. I keep smart. Like, man, he was like one of the worst coaches to ever coach in the NBA. He used to coach Sacramento back in the days. It was a train wreck. So when Fizdale chose him to be the number 2 guy, like, what? Like, what? It was just destined for us to get to be destroyed that year, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I had high hopes for Fizdale coming in. I mean, he had a nice little assistant coach run with Miami when they won championships. But I mean, that was a tough year. So was the Derek Fisher year. That was a tough one. I mean, the Kurt Rambis year, Jeff Hornacek. And now we've come to Tom Thibodeau. It's been a long waiting out process.
Yeah, man. This guy Hornets. Okay.
Real quick,
Mhm.
Derek Fisher wasn't all that bad, even though he's trying to dupe players' wives.
Please expand. Please expand. Oh
That's
my
what
god.
she said. That's what she
man,
said.
Aiden,
Oh
you
my
gotta
god.
do your homework. Oh my god, Aiden.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of audience you want to have, man, but the Fisher's a dirty dude, man. If there's anything I could teach somebody, man, look at Derek Fisher, and this is the type of guy you need to watch out for in life. Because he's gonna try to, like, one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, what happened to Dad? Derek Fisher? Like, what the you're like, Mom? And he's like, hey, like, what the hell's going on here, man? Derek Fisher is crazy.
And what's crazy when we fired him, I think he was 22 and 22.
Yeah.
Yo, I swear to God, I think he was 22 and 22 when we fired Derek Fisher. And
I don't know. I gotta look that up.
it went down the drain, man. That's funny though. He's Derek Fisher.
Oh man. Yeah, that whole Matt Barnes thing is crazy.
But it's true though. That really happened.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
my
the story
God.
that we're talking about with Fisher is that he was allegedly slept with Cle Anthony Early's girl or whatever. It was like a big thing, and that's the reason why Cle Anthony Early's career was kind of all messed up and led down. I think I don't know the whole thing, but I mean, he ended up getting shot in the knee that year. I mean, like, what the heck? That was just a crazy time, man.
Oh man, I actually never knew about the Clay Anthony Riley, Derek Fisher
Wow.
story. That's crazy.
Good lord.
Oh my
Yeah, man.
god.
Stay away from Derek Fisher, bro.
I need to present the y'all timeline real quick, and I want to have a future podcast when we like discuss this in full scale. So this week, I want to do it this week, fellas. This week Wednesday at probably 9 p.m. 9:30.
Okay.
So let's talk timelines, right? So let's say in 2017 we don't draft Frank, right? Let's say in 2017 we draft Donovan Mitchell. Let's say we draft Donovan Mitchell. So let's say, right, in the same timeline, it's the same timeline, right? We draft Donovan Mitchell. Porzingis still gets hurt, right? We still go back to the lottery in 2018. But instead of drafting Kevin Knox, we draft a guy like Mike Porter Jr., or we draft a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, instead of Kevin Knox, Michael Porter Jr., Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, it's 2019. Where do we stand at that point?
I mean, it's a solid young core. Oh man,
we're talking to Kang right here. Kang just messed up the whole timeline. Now we got to call the TSA. You got to call the TSA to come in there and repair everything. Oh my god! But if we would have drafted correctly though, we still had a bunch of retards in the front office at the time, and the coaching staff, everything was a mess. So if we would have drafted correctly, we probably would have still ended up at this point. We still probably would have ended up with Tom Thibodeau eventually, and everybody else taking over the way that it did. Because certain things, if you change, it's not really going to change the trajectory of where you're going to go.
Right.
Did you hear that state? The whole coaching staff and just the front office and everything was all jacked up. So if we would have drafted correctly, we still would have had a bunch of retards, leading.
I mean, my favorite thing. Yeah, go ahead.
You don't think Donovan Mitchell would have increased the win total, or you think you still started Courtney Lee over Donovan Mitchell? That's what you're saying.
No. I think we would have been. It would have been better, of course, with the just the overall. We're talking about like a team that missed the playoffs, whatever. We probably would have still been missing the playoffs, or maybe borderline. Playoff team, we still would have been bad, and we still probably would have ended up where we are now, where Tom Thibodeau was here. Leon Rose and all this other stuff.
So we wouldn't have extended Porzingis. But in this timeline, we extended Porzingis though.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we have Porzingis, but I don't know, man.
So I'm thinking now, because I mean, Donovan Mitchell is Donovan Mitchell. As soon as he got into the league, he was 20 point a game scorer, close to 30 every night. And, a healthy Porzingis is like, he is who he is. And then Michael Porter Jr. finally getting to Michael Porter Jr. But I mean, none of that would even happen until this year, probably. It would have been Donovan Mitchell by himself. Right? So, I mean, I think we might have still been a little messed up.
That's or we could go straight to 2018, and we could not draft Kevin Knox, and we could draft Michael Porter Jr., right? And then sit Michael Porter Jr. for a year, and then now you got R.J. Barrett. You still draft R.J. Barrett now, and now you got Michael. Now in this event, you don't have to sign Bobby Portis. You don't have to sign. Well, you still could sign Mook, but you got Michael Porter Jr. So now you got your core is Randall, and then you probably still sign Julius Randle. So now your core is Randall, Michael Porter Jr., R.J. Barrett.
I don't know. I don't really don't. What
I
do
mean,
you think about that?
I'll take it, but I mean, then you're just gonna act like this timeline is never gonna happen.
Look at that, man. Like if any of these things fracture, man, it could take us into chaos, man.
I mean, you know, the dominoes just keep falling. I mean, we're talking about timelines here.
Yeah, man. If anything changes here, we could end up in Seattle or something like that. The Seattle Knicks, you know.
Oh
so,
man.
Yeah, when you're messing with time, man, it could be crazy.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I always love looking at that little tree because
Me too, man. I want to frame it. I want to like print it like big and put it like in a frame or something. That shit is hilarious. But it's not over yet, though.
No, and now it keeps going. I mean, in the Evan Fournier sign-in trade, we get like more picks. So,
and we still got another Dallas pick. What is it? Not next year, the year after. It's the gift that keeps on giving is Porzingis trade.
I remember when that first happened, and like all of my friends at school were making fun of me, saying, "Oh, it's over. You guys got nothing." And I, obviously before looking at the logistics, this was before I was a content creator, so I'm looking at it on paper, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is terrible. What have we done?" And now I always like to come back and look at that because it just it brings me hope for this team.
Yeah.
I love it. Now,
I didn't care, man. Once I heard Porzingis wanted out, see, once you want out, I'm done with you. Like, I don't care about you no more. The difference between Carmelo Anthony leaving, Carmelo didn't really want to leave. He was pushed out. So he had to go. You get what I'm saying? Porzingis, he was given a choice. He wanted to leave. And then Alejandro always bring it up. The Knicks had about 3 more scandals that would never get out to the public about Porzingis. So, I mean, hey, man, don't let the door hit you on behind when you leave. But I already told you, Aiden, and I think I told Dowd this already. Don't be surprised if Porzingis come back to New York a couple years down the line and try to redeem himself. And
I don't see that happening.
I wouldn't mind him back. I would take him back. I wouldn't mind it.
I think there would be riots in the streets.
Well, time heals all wounds, man. Because remember, Carmelo Anthony slapped Marty Collins some years ago, and next thing you know, everybody wants to put Melo's, number in the rafters now. You know what I'm saying? But you forget all about that. It was a major fight that we had. It was a big stain on Melo's career, but we forget all about it. Time just heals all wounds. So I get it, man.
It was one of the big fights Nate Robinson lasted in.
Yeah, Nate Robinson was a crazy dude, man.
Oh man, I mean, look, I admire him for short guys, but stay away from the boxing, please.
Yeah, boxing is a different. Boxing is not even 1-on-1. It's like you make one mistake and that's it. That's it for you, man. It's different than basketball.
Exactly. Yeah, it's surprising how much of a mental thing it is. It's like basketball's mental, but it's extremely like a you have control. I think more of your style of impact. But I guess we've kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other topics you want to throw out?
Nah, not really. I just want. Not really. I think we got into the gist of it. I do want to do that timeline pod though later on this week for sure. I'm free
Wednesday night.
Yeah, I need some time, man. I gotta get some more beer in the freezer and get ready for that one, man. That's gonna be a headache right there, man. So I'm ready. I'll be ready for you when we do it.
I gotta lay all the time. I gotta lay all the freaking timelines out before I get on.
Rick and Morty, get the Rick and Morty song queued up.
Oh man.
Oh man. Maybe.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Say something?
No. Go ahead.
I was about to say. Maybe in the next Marvel What If, Spider-Man becomes Doctor Strange. We don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a state what if. Kang the Conqueror turns into Doctor Strange. But look, I appreciate you guys for coming on. It's been long overdue, and I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Hey, anytime you call, throw out the Knicks community signal, and we'll answer the call, man.
Of course. Well, I mean, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm sure I'll bring back on Eru and Steve very soon. But thank you guys so much for coming on. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.
All right, anytime, bro. Just hit me up anytime. I'll pull up. Peace
Adios.
out, bro.